Start the recording.
This meeting is being recorded. Dun, 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 dun.
And we are now live.
Oh, we're live? Cool.
All right, there we go. You should be able to hear me.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got to be able to hear those tones. Now, wait a minute. Who is that, Cole or Yanni that just spoke?
Not me.
Okay, hold on. Cole, say something.
Something?
Oh, there we go.
We got something.
Something. Yanni, say something, bro.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, we got Yanni. All right, so Vienna.
I was gonna be in my booth today, but
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. You don't have to be at all. Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, so that is most of everyone. One person will be coming in late.
Okay, so we can grow. We can go.
Yep, you're all
Cool.
good to go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. No, I'm teasing.
Oh boy, time to solve my problems.
I'm messing with you. Okay, so my name is John Bentley. Walter reached out to me and said, hey, can we talk? Can we try to do things? Can you come to this class? Can you speak to some of the students that are doing voiceover work? I'm like, yeah, how about we just do a big old class? How about we just talk? How about we chop it up? How about we just make a meeting that normally would be for a lot of people saying, hey, can we just talk for 30 minutes? I'm like, nah, if we're going to do this, let's just get together, hang out, and treat it like a class, but also treat it like just if you have any questions, if you Q&A, let's just do it a big old summit. So Walter is to thank for that. So much love to Walter, who's in Florida and smiling. He wishes he was there with everyone. I'm just giving you the message. He wishes he was in Georgia with everyone, but he can't be right now because he's smiling. And is everybody in Georgia?
Yes, or at least I am. I think everyone is.
All right.
Nice.
Yep, pretty much.
Cole, don't be afraid to say more than just something. I'm teasing. So I'm like a jokester, and I like to see people smile. So you'll hear me like pull stuff out of you or crack a joke or something, because I've always felt that the best work usually comes from a place of happiness. Whether you have it in your heart and don't have it on your face, or whether you have it on your face, but it possibly might not be in your heart. You can't not bring some kind of great element to your work vocally if there's a smile on your face or even in your head. You know what I mean? It happens. There's a difference between, listen, I'm gonna read this. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to work on some VO stuff with you all. Let's allow for our time to be encouraging, healthy. So right? So that's me just reading and not having a happy thought in my face or my heart or my head. But if I just put a smile on my face, it will change the read. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to work on some VO stuff with you all. Let's allow for our time to be encouraging, healthy, and you see what I'm saying? There's a difference in what you do with this thing, because it's part of your package as well. All right. When you record. Now, the hard thing is, and this is a quick drill to try whenever you guys get a chance, get in front of a mirror, especially those of you who want to do on-camera work. All right. Get in front of a mirror and try to sound like you just don't care. Like you just want to take somebody out with a smile on your face. It's hard to do. Or try to look sad and talk happy. I just can't help but love everything I do. It's hard to do. If you can start mastering that stuff, then you will have not just more control of what you do facially for on camera, but what you can do with your voice. Because sometimes a place like this is right here, and sometimes a place like this is right here. It all depends on how you shape. All right, so that's just a quick thing. What I want to do is set a couple of rules first. It sounds like a happy group just from us hanging out and talking. Arka, what you frowning at? Why are you mad? I'm messing with you. You say I was listening. Why you messing with me, dude? You don't know me. I will come over there and cut you. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm really just listening in. I'm with the Signal, which is our student newspaper. So I'm just kind of listening in.
Okay, Cole. That's cool. I was messing with Erica. She was so focused. I was like, dang, am I in trouble?
Oh, no, of course not.
So, like I said, don't be mad at me, and please don't be offended if I like look at you and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna talk about you because I want to make sure you smiling." You know what I mean? Or just, I know you listen intently, like Walter. But anyway, so what I want to do is like during our individual work, and now that I see how our group is, we'll be able to spend a little more time on stuff as well. During our individual work, that's the time I would love for you. If you have to use a bathroom, use a bathroom. I'm going to try to push through this without using the bathroom. But if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Don't be like, yo, John, dude, something's wrong with you. That's just how when you're in a voiceover booth and you're working, they're built-in breaks. But for me, I'm like, if I'm in a rhythm with a specific voice or specific work, I want to stay in it. Because the minute I go to the bathroom or the minute I take a break that I don't feel like need, I come out of that voice. I come out of the mindset of that character. And so that's important to know. Your process may be different, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. As far as when we start doing individual work, I want to make sure that you're muted so that we don't hear anyone else talking. So we give that time to the individual that we're working with. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yep.
pretty much, all I have to say. Did I miss anything, Walt, in that?
No, I think that was everything.
Okay. I mean, so those are only rules that I would say, but I don't like, rules when it comes to doing creative work because we often find that in breaking them or in not following this box, we find the best work in the world that we can ever imagine that comes out of us. You know what I'm saying? So I want to focus on that. So all that said, I'm John. If you want to know a lot of the stuff I do, look it up on IMDb. I'm not being conceited. I'm not being mean or rude by saying it. It's just I don't like talking about myself that much. Look up the stuff that I do on IMDb and you can see my on camera and all that other good stuff. The only thing I guess it's not on there is commercial work. So that's who I am if you haven't done it already. If you have questions and you want to ask me questions, it's cool. I'll answer them as far as me, but I don't like talking about me. It's just me. Anyway, and then I want to chop it up with individuals with like your work. So I'll kind of go in this little box row here to see, So Tennille, what's your experience with voiceover work? You're like, you got me when I was drinking out of my red cup, my solo cup.
I'm first. Okay. I've kind of been working towards voiceover for the past year. I've taken a good handful of classes. I'm currently going to be signing up for some private lessons. But I've been on ACX. I actually just signed a contract for an audiobook. So I'm excited about that. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow. I have a YouTube channel called Just Wandering Wares. And I've done a couple of other small things now. So yeah.
Okay. What's your genre? What's your favorite genre? Like what we were talking about today, what we're going to do is like spokesperson or like news, cartoon, commercial, anime. What's your genre? Where do you feel most comfortable?
Characters. I've been told I'm very good at characters.
Okay.
But I've kind of been working towards narration lately because that's just kind of where I've been getting work lately. So
nice. I love it. Okay. All right, cool. Kate?
All right, there you go. Unmuted myself.
And I'm keeping notes so y'all don't think I'm just looking down and talking smack. I'm keeping notes so that I'll know where to go when we do our individual work. All right.
Okay. So yes, I'm very new to this still. I'm really just trying to invest in the time to get professional coaching and equipment. But at home, I've been doing a lot of practice, whether it's reading monologues or practice scripts. And then I've helped with a couple students on campus. There's like a gaming club, and they just need to have characters for their game. So it's a good way to practice. But I think my favorite genre, even though I would like to go for the cartoony stuff, I feel like I'm more drawn to commercials and stuff like that. So
okay, you got a great voice for it. So you've been doing gaming characters?
Yes, just
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me one.
As in, what do you mean?
Just give me a voice. Give me a voice that you would do or have done for the students who've asked you to come in and jump into their games.
Okay, so the last voice I had to do was for this weird plague doctor voice, and they would want me to do just like, yes, we need to find the cure for this plague. I don't know. It was a very weird, raspy voice that I
That's
was not
cool.
prepared to do. It was they
Oh,
wanted they were basing off a League of Legends character, and I didn't play League, so I'm sitting there like doing all this research on this character, and then I'm like in my closet just trying to like make all these weird voices.
right. Like, honey, don't worry. Nothing's happening in the closet. I'm just, looking at your clothes. It's cool. Thank you, man, for being prepared, like on the spot. Erica, you ready?
Yes.
All right.
So,
Tell me about you.
I started like actual voice acting stuff back in 2016
Wow.
because I got a job and it paid me a lot of money. I
Right.
was working on a military base, so they paid me a lot for such a little kid.
Cool.
So I've just been doing practice here and there, and I've taken 2 like professional voice acting classes as of now.
Nice.
And I've auditioned for a couple of things, but that's about it.
What's your genre? What do you like?
Commercial.
And what was that class? What was the voice job that you did when you were a kid?
Oh, it wasn't a voice job. I had a job that got me a lot of money, so I was able to buy a mic and things.
Oh,
to
your
start.
equipment. I got you. Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. What's your genre?
It's commercial and video games.
So, has
and
anyone
anime?
an anime? Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you've ever. So, has anyone in the group seen this movie on Netflix, or it's a series called? It's about the choirs, Voices of. I just saw it last night. It's Voices of Gold or something. It's basically Pharrell's uncle is a pastor, and he is trying to find the best voices for a choir. Has anyone seen that?
Voices of
Or
Fire.
not.
Voices of Fire. Watch that if you guys get a chance. Not even just because of the gospel and the just what they're looking for and the differences and how they break down their groups: sopranos, altos, and tenors. You, Erica, have a voice that's very unique. Because and as many of you know, if you follow voiceover for a while, a lot of women play a lot of boys parts, but you have a bottom end just in your speaking voice that's very unique. Because I heard your voice crack at the top, and I can tell you probably up in a tenor range, but you can go to an alto.
Yeah.
But you have this wonderful bottom that you need to, if no one's ever told you, you need to play with that, because that is a really big range. You'll understand what I mean as we go later, but if you watch that movie, you'll really understand what I'm talking about.
All
Okay?
right. Thanks.
I'm listening to y'all too while we're doing this. Yanni. Jumping. What's up,
Hello.
man?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So tell me about you.
So I'm fairly new to the industry. I've only done a couple jobs for ad reads on podcasts. And for the most part, I've just been either taking classes or practicing while bartending.
Okay. You're taking classes, meaning voiceover, or just school in general?
Voiceover classes.
Nice. You
specifically.
got a great resonance in your voice, man.
Thank
It's
you.
like your vibrato. Do you sing?
I don't sing.
Okay. You guys, can y'all hear how low he is?
He
And
is
just
quite
his
low.
speaking voice. I would love to hear when we work. I want to hear your top end and see what kind of range you have. Because if you can establish the same kind of control you have over your basic speaking voice and go there, you'll shock the hell out of people in a booth. And they'll go, wait a minute, you can do more characters. You know what I mean? Because it's always about more work. All right. Walter, you got to keep me, or you or Vienna, you got to keep me on point with the time, because I'll get into talking because I'm all excited. And I'm listening to everybody's voice. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tennille's voice is so clear. It's going to be fun. All right. What's your genre?
For the most part, my genres have been mostly. I just said something completely redundant. I would say along the lines of advertisements, news reports, things like that.
Got a great news voice. I can see that. Are you a gamer? Is that why I'm seeing all your game gear?
Actually, this chair is an office chair I got for $50 on Facebook Marketplace, and for the
I
most
ain't
part,
mad at you. Dang, I need to move wherever you are. You can't find no office chair out here for no $50.
you'd
Cool.
be surprised what you can find on Facebook Marketplace.
Not in LA.
Ooh.
It's weird. All right, Lady V. Your turn. And don't be like, I was just setting it up. I'm not taking this damn class.
No, I think what started me into voice acting was when a friend of mine in high school asked me to voice act for a character in her animation
Nice.
for a school project. And since then, I've just been auditioning for online for people who need voices for animations that they want to do, but don't have the resources or voices to do so since then.
Got it. When was that, Vienna? When was that? Like recently when you did the thing for your friend?
It was 5 years ago, actually.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and since then I've just been auditioning for other animators that need voices. I did take some classes, voiceover classes, with. Sorry, I lost my train of. But I did take classes, and I've been researching more about voiceovers and stuff, and even just do online classes where I have to do research and everything by myself.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it. Just so y'all know, I am serious. I am heavy into, okay, take classes, but I am not into take classes that are trying to take your money. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that the classes are not some gimmick. Hey, we'll do your voiceover reel if you take our class for 3 weeks and it's $3,000 total. Just sometimes doing the work, especially in the beginning as a student, there are some scams out there, and I want you guys to be sure to avoid them. And sometimes, a lot of times, doing your own research will get you to a point where it's like, hey, all I need is reps. I just need reps. And if you well, I started off on a thing called Voice 123, and I didn't have to pay in the beginning. And basically, they would send me auditions that I would audition for. Now, I don't think that all the auditions were heard at the beginning. This was a while back. But when I became like the premium or whatever, when I saved enough money to join the actual thing, my first job paid for all of my equipment. So Erica, I know what you mean when you're like, I've got a job, I got to get the equipment. I'm also going to try to, I'll try to send it in the link if I can, or else I'll send it through Walter. A basic setup, you know, with basically, I have a Focusrite Scarlett Solo and a microphone. I've been able to build up with my microphone, but they sell them package deals. I'll send you what most voiceover companies out here, the booth techs, because everything is at home pretty much now, have sent me that is up to par for what they want for a professional booth. I'll send that to Walter to send to everyone. But Vienna, you're right. Going online, looking up stuff, figuring things out. As a matter of fact, I want you to look up Stephanie Shea, SHEA. She is an unbelievable voiceover actress, and she does a lot of G-Kids films, but you remind me so much of her. You have a lot more presence in your voice. Now, Stephanie is a bad girl. She's no joke, but I'm listening to your voice, and I'm like, that's who you, I mean, she works on everything. She's even at a point now where she's a casting director. She's so good. But all right, let's move on. I know you're just the news reporter, but hey, Cole, tell me about you, Cole.
Well, I have no voice acting experience at all.
Okay. But when you go to places and you do your research or your reporting, or you have to use your voice, right?
Definitely, all the time.
and you seem like a smiler, which is a cool thing. So the first thing you do is you break down barriers with your smile when you speak to someone or you introduce yourself. So I know you're just sitting in and it's all good, but know that you got an instrument and a tool that literally disarms people so that you can go on with what your job is or what your main thing is. So we're gonna, even you sitting in, hopefully you pick something up on, oh, I didn't realize it was that powerful. I didn't realize that a smile and a friendly gesture or my vocal pattern can do this or open doors that some people can't. You know what I mean? All right, so we'll if you have any questions on anything, we'll push through. All right, you just make
Thank
sure you
you.
ask me. All right, so I'm gonna put new because this ain't just the end; it's the beginning for you. All right,
Sounds good.
Walter. Just because you put it together, man, don't mean that you ain't, gonna go through this.
I know.
All right. Tell me about you, brother.
Right. So
I'm in Florida.
yeah, I am in Florida, but yeah, I've been I guess I've been voice acting for over a year now, or just been getting into it for over a year now.
Okay.
I've mainly been using online resources and stuff like that. Like I started off there with things like Gravy for the Brain, which was pretty helpful.
What was it for the brain?
Gravy for the Brain.
Brave?
Gravy for the Brain.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a VIA website, but that I did have a class recently. I'm about to be doing another one again soon. It's like Steve Blum's classes or whatever. I got
Steve's the man.
Yeah, I'm actually
He's
looking
the
forward to that.
Yeah.
His online classes. But
He's incredible. He's a great dude and a really solid teacher.
mhm, yeah. But other than that, I've just been trying to keep up and like practice on the side. And yeah. For me, my genres, I'm interested in character work. So for animation, video games, and stuff like that, and commercials, and possibly e-learning.
Okay.
And see where that takes me, maybe.
Now, I'm not picking on you at all. I'm being very serious. You have serious vibrato, bass, all that. But I hear, because you have a sing-songy voice. I know I was teasing, like Eeyore, but you have a sing-songy voice. So I want you to seriously consider that simple thing that we talked about at the top of the hour. When you smile, I guarantee you your voice is going to change. I can guarantee it. We'll work on that when we get into our individual stuff.
Gotcha.
But I can guarantee it. So I would encourage you to find material that you like, because I would really, really think that if you chose material that you liked,
yeah,
and were excited about, I think it would change your rehearsal. The things that you do when you practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for everybody, I would encourage you to do it in front of a mirror. I would. It changes your whole demeanor. Because if you don't care how you look when you're working, you know what I mean? Because nobody sees you. They hear your voice. When you're in a booth, the only person that sees you is a booth tech or a director or whoever's in the booth on the opposite side. And most of the time they're looking down, they're listening, So it doesn't matter how you look. You can get ugly doing this thing, you know what I mean? And do your voices. So I would encourage you to do that. Do your stuff in front of a mirror, but change what you've been doing to find material that you really, really like. All right?
Gotcha.
All right, Big D, you up. Daniel.
All right, hello. Hi. So, I've been doing voiceover for like about 6-7 months-ish, right? And the way I got it was just like, I was just bored during the pandemic. I was like, all right, let me watch some YouTube videos. And I found this one video where like a bunch of people were just making a bunch of like wacky voices and that sort of thing. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. Why don't I get into this like that, right? So, I found a couple scripts online. I'm like, okay, let me practice a bit. Then I found like some posts about like comic dubs. And I'm like, okay, why don't I delve into that? then after like a couple months, I invested some gear. I invested in a class actually that helped me with acting. And pretty much recently, all I've been focusing on was just like more so acting, because I've heard many people say like, don't focus on making too many voices, focus on your own voice and be good at acting, be good at inflections, that sort of thing. And then once you get good at that, then start to focus on like the voice. But
Yep.
I took that to heart, but also I was like, hey, why don't I have a little bit of fun with it, you know? I just go, way up high up here, or we go all the way down here, right? Or however I feel. So, yeah, no, I mean, either way, I'm still like trying to audition to the best of my ability with like classes being really hectic and job and all this sort of thing.
Right.
But I'm still trying to make a push because I've made an indie reel for Twitter, just like going out there, trying to do auditions on Twitter now. And
Nice.
you know, I'm just trying to see what I can, you know, do well in, because some people say I'm good with, I have a voice for narration, and so others would say, oh, you could try character work, it's not that bad, right? You know, yeah, I don't know. So
This is a note for everybody. Don't ever let anybody put you in a box. Don't ever let anybody say, well, you sound like a narrator, you should do narration, and that's it. If you can do it all and you've studied to do it all, then damn it, do it all. I'm so tired of people telling other people, you know, whether they be teachers or whatever, hey, you know what? You can only do commercials. Or if you do commercials, you can't do television and film. And if you do film, I don't know if you can do that's what happened to me when I was coming up. And I'm like, man, I studied to do all this. I'm going to do all this. Because as actors and as creators and as voice talents, first of all, you know what's pleasing to the ear. So the simple fact that this is a business that you want to try or get into, you know what's pleasing to your ear at least, and you know what's pleasing to your eyes, right? So you already have a foot ahead of the game, but going, well, I know what I like to see and I know what I like to hear. Whether it be the movement of someone or whether it be the vocal quality or pattern of someone, you already know. So now what can you do? Just like you said, D, what do I sound like? How am I pleasing to the eye, pleasing to the ear? You know what I'm saying? And with voiceover,
Right, yeah.
it's like, how am I pleasing to the ear without having to be pleasing to the eye? It's almost like
right, yeah, no, I get that.
if someone's trying to sell a specific product, whether it be sports,
you know?
whether it be clothes, you know, how do you sell clothes with your voice? Well, it depends on the demographic you're trying to reach. You see what I'm saying? So it's just know that you can do that. Daniel, where are you from originally?
I was actually born in America, somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah.
In
But
Georgia?
but my parents were all the way from Iran, actually. So yeah.
Okay. You have a very quick. It sounds like your mind's quick, but your vocal pattern is quick. It's very quick.
It's
It's very what we call staccato. I would love to hear what it sounds like if it was legato. I would love to hear what you sound like slowed down, because you talk like this, like, you know, and you say like a lot, like you should be like out here in California, like, you know, in the valley, like somewhere, you know, and I'm not knocking that. That's a good thing. But I would love to hear what it sounds like if you said all that slower. We'll work on it when we do our individual work, okay? Oh, the thing changed. The boxes moved on me. Did somebody else jump in that I'm missing? Nobody else is in yet, are they, Vienna? The person coming? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Man, y'all are on it. Everybody was like, you know, on mute, all that cool stuff. So I have everyone, right? Tennille, Cade, Erica, Yanni, Vienna, Cole, Walter, Daniel. That's everybody for now, yeah? All right. Open up your mics. You guys can open up your mics. Anybody got questions that you want to ask? You can ask me anything. I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
I have a question.
Sure.
You voiced Barrett in the Final Fantasy VII remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely love that role. It's amazing finally hearing all of the characters' voice in a full game like this.
Cool.
And I wanted to know like how all that worked and how that experience was.
It was different. It was first of all, I played the game when I was a kid, 26, 27, when it first came out. And I'd never liked RPGs because it's like we weren't represented in them. Black folks just weren't in them, right? And I'm like, well, what's the fun of standing around and waiting for people in your party to take a turn and fight when I can go out and play something? Even Atari I can control the one character. And so I was like, wait a minute, there's a black character and he doesn't die. And so I went, okay, I like this game. It was the first RPG game that I played. Vienna, you're laughing. I'm serious. Like black folks in movies, we die quick. We're usually the first ones to die. So,
Not wrong.
It's a horror trope, definitely.
I'm just like, yo, and he's got a gun for an arm, okay, and he's not looking at it. And then I started reading what he was saying, and I went, oh, we don't talk like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So someone said, hey, you have an audition. A very dear friend of mine, she said, you have an audition for this character, Barrett. And I went, I don't know anybody named Barrett. Like, and okay, cool. I go into the booth. I'm like, wait a minute, is this Final Fantasy? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So after I finish gushing about, this character that turned me on to RPGs, I'm like, all right, let me figure out what I'll do. And I had like 5 different ways that I would do it. And I wound up booking a job, long story short. But then the days of going into the booth, all of my booth time pretty much on average was 4 hours a pop. So I would go in and do Barrett, and Barrett does not talk like how we talking now. Everything he does is big. Everything he does is loud. Everything except for his scenes usually with Marlene. And so I literally talk about an actor trying to prepare your throat before and after you do something like that. That was a challenge, but it was so much fun because I had an unbelievable crew with Square Enix, with the folks who were running the booth, with Wonder Dog Media. Unbelievable experience being in the booth and then being able to see the visuals of this character that I've watched as a kid go from polygons to this unbelievably smooth animation and facial expressions. And the only regret I have is that I didn't get to do the mocap. I wish I'd have been able to do mocap, but they did all the mocap in over in Japan. So I had to literally match with the voice what the movement was that was already done. And I literally had to hear the Japanese text in my ear, and you can only say it within that amount of time. You know what I mean? So if they said, hey, over there, whatever the text was in English that I had to take from the translation, I had that much time. Hey, over there. That was that much time I had to say it. So it was a challenge, but it was a fun challenge. So it was a workout, but it was fun.
Are you excited that there's going to be 2 other parts that you're going to get to voice?
Oh yeah. I'm thrilled. I when the pandemic hit, it crushed me because one, we were scheduled to do so many conventions, and I would have been out there. We're scheduled to do so many conventions, and to me, everybody says, well, you do conventions because you can make money. It's like, no, the conventions for me was that I get to see people who love the game, who love what we do in the business of voice. I'm a fanboy like crazy too. Like I'm an only child. I grew up playing Atari, and had to find ways to, have fun as a kid, especially on rainy days in Chicago. So for me, it was one of those, I don't get to see fans. I don't get to see people who are like me. I don't get to uplift and encourage because, I don't know many of you who are gamers. Now the games are, you play the game by your dammy. You're in a room by yourself pretty much. A lot of the games aren't built for you to play, hey, side by side. I'm playing against you head to head like Madden. Everything's online, or, everything is individual. You are like, you're Drake and, Uncharted, and that's you. But once you leave that world of fantasy, you got to deal with you, and some people have a hard time. So I was able to get on tour or go to cons and encourage people who I could recognize, oh, you're having a hard time with life. So how can we uplift and edify you with just, whether it's a picture or if you know what I mean? So those are the things that I was crushed by because of the pandemic. But I'm super excited to get back in and start working and do our thing and you know, go into the next 2 chapters of what we're doing for the genre. But you know, until then, I'm just trying to grind away, like you guys, trying to grind away at work. And that's why this booth was built, you know. That's another thing I forgot to talk about. The booth that you see here, because we had up the little screensaver, you know, like my cool Tennille's. Tennille, yours is like pretty. Mine is all weird, just blue, you know. But this is PVC piping, and this is blankets from Big Lots or a store, and moving crate blankets on the outside of them to build a voiceover booth that is comparable to going into a studio, because a lot of studios, especially in LA, they're like, no, you got to be co-ed this, you got to do this, you got to do this, or we're not doing it. You have to record remotely. So in order to set all that up, I have a simple setup, and I'm not going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars knowing that once all of this is over, I'm going to be back in the booth anyway. But it's great that I can still use this for a booth in case anyone says, hey, can you record from home? Or we have pickups for you after you've already been in the booth. But I miss the days of being in a booth so I can see people, just like what we're doing now. You know what I mean? So I hope I answered your question and then some.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool,
Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else?
I got one quick question. How'd you actually find auditions, like just physical auditions? You go in the booth and just like do recordings and stuff? Because I know with online auditions, it's just like go to this website, submit like an audio file, and call it that. But how would you like go out of your way just to, like find some stuff that's like, hey, we need you to come to this place to do this audition at whatever.
I have an agent. Yeah, you have an agent. That changes the game. You know, once you're at that point where you're able to be represented by someone, they submit you or submit your voice for that job. Usually they submit you. And then that person says, hey, yeah, we have them audition or have them come in or whatever it may be. But when I first started, I don't know if I told you, like I said, Voice 123 is where I went and I started. And I basically made a reel. I took I'm telling you all the trick to the trade that I did. I took a magazine. I took a couple magazines. I took I think it was a Sports Illustrated, People, and probably like Ebony, you know, because I was like, I want to do black ads as well. So I had all 3 of those, and all I did was take the ads in the magazine, and if you look, they're built-in commercials. You know, this hopefully encourages you too, Yanni, to make a reel for yourself. This is how I made my reel. I got some nondescript music that wasn't licensed, which is super easy to do now on the internet. I found the different sounds and music. I did 5 different auditions from the ads, and I read the ads as if they were on the air commercially or on radio. And I just read the ads as I saw fit. All I had to do was look at the picture that they represented, like if it was for Kraft macaroni and cheese, or if it was for, back in the day, there was this video game called Bust a Groove. That shows you how long ago I did this. Bust a Groove was a PlayStation 1 game. And I was like, let me take this ad and just do this ad, because it'll give me this hip hop genre that I can have this completely different on my reel. And I put some music to it. That's all I did. I made that. I condensed all that into 1 minute or maybe 1 minute and 20. And then I used that, submitted it to whomever asked for my reel, and then submitted to Voice 123, put it on my profile. Like I said, I did Voice 123 free at first. Wound up going, okay, I need to pay more money so that I can get more work, because I was auditioning probably 6 times a week at the beginning, but this was back in the day. And then after I did the higher package, which I think was $150 at the time, maybe $200, then I started getting like 20 auditions a day. And I'm like, okay, well, even though I wasn't getting the jobs, I was auditioning. I knew my equipment. I knew how to do my gain. I knew how to where the mic placement should be when I spoke. And like I'm using a shotgun mic now. Usually I would use, a whole different kind of mic setup. I figured out my voice, my vocal range, my patterns, these different things. And then I went, wait a minute, I can produce myself. So I was like, okay, this is how I sound. Matter of fact, hey, son, come in here. So my son started coming in and started doing voices. One of my son in particular, he's good at different dialects. He started doing dialects. Man, they started working more than me, because we would submit these things. And all of a sudden, from voice 1, 2, 3, we got this one job. And granted, I'm letting you guys know, it was from all over the world. My first job was from Germany. And then the second job I got, it was saying, hey, listen, we do a comic book. Can you come down here and do the Dr. such and such from this comic book? I'm like, sure, but I'm in LA. They're like, yeah, we're in Santa Monica. When can you be here? I'm like, what? And so I went down there and it was for Dead Space. Dead Space was originally a comic book.
Nice.
It was a comic book. It was literally a comic book, panels, storyboard, and they would just hone in on the thing, shake it if there was some, it was that simple. It was a comic-based page turn comic book until it became what it is now. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. But you're also talking about somebody who back in the day, and this is in relation to questions we were talking about earlier, and this I think is great for you, Cade. I know clubs are closed now, but I would go to the club back in the day when I was in school, and I wouldn't like go and dance all the time. I would sit up in a spot and watch people, and everybody around me just got a show. I wasn't trying to entertain anybody. It was just that this is how this person talks. This is how she talks. This is how he talks. This is the conversation they're having right now. And I would do both voices. And people around me would be like, man, you're so great. And at one point I got in trouble because the bouncer came up and was like, hey, man, what are you doing? Why are you pointing at people? I'm like, I'm not pointing at anybody. They're pointing at people. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm imitating what I think this interaction is. He's like what? The bouncer who came to kick me out the damn club. I said, okay, like that guy and that girl. Hey, girl, go ahead and give me a drink. I need you to give me a drink, girl. What are you talking about? So I would just do all these crazy voices for these two people who were just interacting in the club. Bouncer's cracking up. He's like, man, you can come in this club anytime you want to for free. I'm like, okay, because it was Quinton's club. So I'm like, all right. But, so I'm like, it wasn't like I was doing stand-up or comedian stuff. It was just that these are the voices. And I don't know how many of you guys are like deep into voiceover stuff, but these are the voices that are in my head. This is what I see. To a point where when I started taking theater classes at school at the University of Minnesota, I would be at a bus stop and just sit there and look at people. I would study people, how they walked, how they moved, how they talked. Anybody who had like a physical an ailment to someone who was just staunch straight, someone who was an athlete to someone who was a beauty queen, I would look at how they talked, and that's how I would place my voice. If I thought they talked like this, or if I thought they talked like this, I would just start doing different things like this. Now, I didn't let them hear me. I'm not encouraging you to go out, Cade, and be like, I'm gonna sit right here down on Peachtree, see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Because there's parts of Peachtree you got to be careful. But anyway, I wouldn't go out and just let them hear me. I would be from a distance and go, okay, this is how I'm going to do my work. This is how I think this person talks. And it would go, I'll be by myself most of the time. It would go from something that would be sweet and endearing to something that could be silly and crazy. And that's how I started practicing characters. But like you said, D, which is one of the biggest things, I had to know my voice. Now, you don't always have to know your voice. You can be brilliant and a genius at burying what you think you sound like to do other people's voices because you wish you sounded like them, or you think that see what I'm saying? I hated to hear my voice on my answering machine. Y'all don't know what that is no more. I hated to hear my voice in recordings. I didn't like how I sounded. I didn't. Until I hid me behind other people's voices. See what I'm saying? So I had to come right. This is a full circle, but it's all part of the creative process of how you become you. So I just answered your question and hopefully, shared some stuff that y'all wasn't supposed to know about me, but literally, hopefully, covered a bunch of other stuff. Anybody else? Ask away. Seriously, this is a time to ask questions. I will answer anything I can. Lady T, you look like you want to ask me something. It's all right. I'm not putting you on the spot. But yeah, any questions you may have, just ask away.
You kind of answered my question. So
I did. I got you. Walter, you good? You got any questions?
Yeah, no, I'm good for right now.
Okay. Deanna, we cool?
I actually had one question, but it's like already 1:46, and I don't know if it's okay for me to ask yet.
We're not done until 2, right?
Until 3, not 3.
3, yeah.
4.
Ask away. I'm gonna push through these because y'all already a lot of you don't know it, but you already got it. It's gonna be easy going through these things with you. Everyone has a nursery rhyme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cole, you don't have one, do you? Well, we're gonna get you on the spot. Do you know a nursery rhyme?
Not off the top of my head.
Or think about it. Now you got time. You ain't just gonna sit there and be a
All
sorry.
right.
Okay, I'm sorry, Vienna.
Sound
Go
good.
ahead, Vienna. Answer.
So basically, I just had a question in regards to reels and demos,
Mhm.
and it's like I kept on hearing people say, don't make a demo or a reel yet until you're actually 100% sure you're ready, and stuff like that. And other people are like, yeah, but you can't audition without a demo or a reel, and I'm not very sure how to go about that. Can you audition without? I mean, I know you have to do some sort of voice reel
You
or
can.
something.
You can, but it's kind of like saying, I'm going to go to this job interview, but I don't have a resume.
Mhm.
Your demo reel literally becomes your resume because they can. Our world is so jacked up. They will look at you and say, oh, yeah, well, this is probably what he sounds like. They'll just assume that that's how you sound. They won't even think that you have a range because as open-minded as people say they are, they're very linear in their thinking, whether it be a casting director, whether it be a director, you know what I'm saying? So for you to say, this is my calling card, and you hand them that, then they'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, you can do this. Now, here's the thing. Hey, girlfriend.
They said hi to you.
Hey, Kay. I like your wall. Don't be hiding. What's her name, Kay? Tell me her name.
Her name's Sharaya.
Sheree, I know you can hear me. I like your wall. She's like, forget it. I'm on camera. I don't want none of them to see me on camera with my beautiful red hair. Oh, she can't hear me because you had on headphones, huh? She's laughing. That's cool. All right, so a lot of people will say, don't turn in a crappy reel. I agree. So therefore, because you are my little researcher on the web, you know how to do it. You know what it sounds like to have a good reel. And for me, it's kind of like, all right, you know what a bad reel is when you hear it. You're like, ugh, I wouldn't hire them from that. You have to put on that hat. As a producer, as a director, as someone who's in a position to hire someone for my job, I know what's pleasing, once again, to the ear. I wouldn't hire them from that. That reel is crappy. It's got static in it. Oh my gosh, there's too many gaps in between. The music is louder than the voice. The voice is louder, too loud. Oh, they don't sound any different. I'm sorry, but you have to use that judgment. I hate using that because people take that the wrong way. You have to, use your judgment to say, what will get me a damn job? Who will hire me from this? Is the quality of it up to par? Hey, can I run this past you guys in our group? Does this sound like a professional reel? You know what a professional reel sounds like because you can go to anybody's website and hear what it sounds like. The quality of it, everything else. And then you just find your wheelhouse. What can I do? Okay, I'm going to make a reel that's strictly for animation. I'm going to make a reel that's strictly for spokesperson. I'm going to make a reel that's strictly for ads. You know what I'm saying? And I want to encourage you, Yanni. You'll be able to kill it in ads and commercials. But I want to encourage you to go outside of that, because if you go outside of what your wheelhouse is, what your best is will get better. And that's for anybody. So don't pigeonhole yourself just because I know I have a great speaking voice. I can do, you know what I'm saying? You have a great speaking voice. But what happens if we say we're going to put that speaking voice in a Japanese anime? Or we're going to put that speaking voice into an English dub? What happens then? How can you play? See what I'm saying? Always think outside of what you think is your strongest suit, because you can always do your strongest suit, but how do you generate more income to what you do strong? And then if you're hired for doing this and they hear you do all that, you think they ain't gonna hire you for more work? And isn't that what it's all about? Creating more work and more streams of income for what we have as our tools. So yeah, I would say put together a good demo reel. I would say run it past, especially the group that you have right here. Hey, does this sound professional? Would you hire me on this? And be honest, because it sounds like you guys are honest with one another. Be honest and, critique it. And it's all constructive criticism. It's not, girl, that sucked. It was terrible. You should never do that again. And in the back of their mind, they may be like, I'm going to use that voice. See what I'm saying? So trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. But I would definitely have a reel put together for my calling card, because here's the deal. You get someone hears your voice and they go, hey, that's perfect. Just like your friend did 5 years ago, right? That's perfect. We want to use you for such and such. Someone hears that project and they go, well, who is this? Oh, that's my friend Vienna. She just helped out. Well, how can I get in contact with her? Does she have anything else? Well, this reel, I have a reel for her right here. They hear the reel and they go, yeah, we need her to come in and do this, 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 and this. See what I'm saying? So, because when you're not physically there, and that's the way the world is now, when you're not physically there, you can't give them what they want on the spot. But if you have that vocal pattern, that reel, that difference, then they go, oh, well, yeah, bring her in. And now, because everything's digital, you don't have to have a CD. Like back in the day when I had to go around and send out CDs, they can go click. Oh yeah, bring her in. So now there's phases to this too. I want you guys to know. Once you get that done, your best work done and encapsulated on one source, then the first thing that people do after you've submitted it is they listen to it and they go, yes, no. Yes means, okay, we're going to bring them in. They bring you in, or you record remotely, and they say, hey, we like them or we don't. And if we like them, we have them come in and do this audition. And then we say, okay, you're doing the audition. Can you do it this way? Can you do it that way? Can you take notes? See what I'm saying? So now they're filling you out. And then they say, hey, we're going to give them the job. Then that's a whole nother process beyond paperwork. You come in and you do the job and they say, okay, we want you to do this, this, and this. Oh, by the way, we have 2 more characters that we want you to do. See what I'm saying? See how it rolls? See how it works? Work begets work. And how you are in the booth, how you are when you meet them, how you are when you speak to them, whether they see you or not, all matters. They want to hire someone who they want to be around most of the time. You can be incredible talent. And I know you guys know this just from hearing rumors and stuff like that. There's some incredible talent out there, but they're assholes, right? Of a person. But they still continue to work. Well, guess what? Not too long, especially in the culture and climate that we live in right now. People want to work with people that they enjoy being around. So that's part of the job. This is something that I want you guys to take serious. This is your tool. This is who you are. Voice, body, and face matters. It really does when working. In any situation, this is your tool. You are what you're presenting. If I want to get a job and I want people to be around me, I can't look like I smell. I know you're laughing, but if I go in there and I'm all dirty and, hat like Anton, and I'm like, this whole box, I'm sorry, I got a booger right here. I gotta get it off my nose. And I'm doing a character from Damon Wayans. But if somebody is like that, and they ain't gonna want to hire you unless they go, oh, he's doing a bit. But if I look like that, they're gonna be like, he's gonna stink our booth up. Or I don't know if I can't see who he is through all that facial hair and snot. So you got to remember, this is what you're presenting to whomever you're trying to be hired. If I talk a certain way and I know that that's not what they want, then that's on me. I gotta know who I'm auditioning for. I gotta know what the job requires. Be prepared, because this is your calling card: voice, body, and face. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Just one more.
Okay. Who's that?
I just want to ask one more quick question. It's a simple yes or no, but you can update your reel/demo, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Because you'll have it on your computer. You know what I mean? You can
I just wanted to make sure. Sorry.
Yeah. The only thing is you'll have to edit it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you wanted to slide something in that wasn't in, but it's easy to do. You can do that, honestly, with GarageBand. I made my reel on GarageBand. It's, you can do it with Audacity. It's so many different ways you can do it now. Any other questions?
On that, actually, the majority of people I've encountered are like, don't make your own demo. You got to have it professionally done so it doesn't suck. So
I know a lot of people say that, but I'm watching people make rap songs on GarageBand and making a bunch of money off of YouTube. Now, I'm not saying that the song doesn't suck, but the quality is like, oh, you did that where? And a lot of people will say that. And I will say that if you have the opportunity to have someone do it professionally for you, by all means. But I'm just trying to say, if you don't have the money to do it, listen to what a quality reel sounds like and have them do it. Because honestly, if I did a bunch of voices, I did this once. I did the same thing with the magazine. And I was like, man, I don't have anything. I don't know how to put these together. And I went to my friend who is an audio genius. He's a musician. He's like, oh, just bring him into the booth. And he's like, do you want to record them again? Or do you want me to take what you have? I was like, take what I have. He put them together and it sounded great. He mixed them. It sounded great. And I paid him like $25. But I came with what I did for my voice in my booth. And my booth back then was a Staples box with some Ed Crate stuff in it and a USB mic. Now, another time I went in and said, hey, listen, can we record and you just put music to it? And he's like, sure. His vocal booth was better. Everything was more superior. I had a voiceover demo reel for that. But for the most part, most people are going to only listen to you for a minute, if that. So it's like, how do I get the best quality sounding and get it done? So yeah, once again, I would say run it past somebody. If you're going to do it on your own, run it past somebody before you submit it. Because if your demo sucks, they won't hear from you again for a while. But yeah, I agree with that. But if you can do what you do and you know what it sounds like, and you have somebody to run, the beautiful thing is that you guys are students, and I'm sure that you can go to different places in the music department and say, hey, can you do this for me? Or hey, what does this sound like? Or hey, can you make this sound better? The resources that are out there now are completely different, Lady T. Completely different from what they used to be. You guys have resources that can hook you up. If you got an app that can make you look like you got on makeup, I know somebody can say, hey, look, I'm going to show you how to do this and make this sound better in GarageBand or in Pro Tools, or, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to do it in a way to save money or to make sure that you don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money. Because at some point, you're going to have to spend money. Like you said, Erica, I got all this professional stuff. It took time to get the right microphones. There's a microphone, the Sennheiser is 416, is $1,000. How many people use a directional mic to record? Not many, unless you're doing In a World. And you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't. This is what they use on set. This particular microphone. They use it on set so that they can record whomever, from a boom stand. But I wouldn't suggest using this in the booth. I use it in the booth because I'm right here on it now, and I've got to do a lot of narration. Even with Netflix has this thing where if you go to any show you like on Netflix, if you put seeing impaired, you can push a button and you will hear someone describe its character description or vocal description of the whole scene. So they can watch Black Lightning and understand the whole thing that's going on because they're hearing what's happening on screen that they can't see. There's money in that. There's a lot of money in that, actually. You guys will be surprised how many ways there are to make money with your voice. All right, we good?
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions?
Oh, I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said that you miss cons a lot, and I do too, because I don't get to meet voice actors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you ever did what do they call it? It's where you sign autographs online and you stream yourself signing them to go to your fans and things.
I don't know how to do it. My friend Keith Silverstein does that.
Yeah.
My friend Mela Lee, she does that. Erica Lindbeck. I mean, they all do it. I don't know how to do it. I mean, Walter and Vienna will tell you I was just struggling how to figure out how to get the background off and make sure my sound was right for today. If I knew how to do it, I'd probably do it in a group. I would love to do it, especially during this time where, it's tight. Money is thin because you're not, working as normal as you would be. But yeah, I would do it if I knew how. I'd probably do it every week now too. If I knew how, I would do it. I would definitely do it. But I don't get it because how do you sign? I don't get it. We'll talk about it later, Eric.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. What were you say? It's like what?
Well, so basically, you just get all of the prints, and most of them do it via Streamily. I think you're aware. So they just get the prints, and they typically just record their face, and then they'll sign, and then they show the print to the camera, and then they'll just keep signing and talking and things like that.
And then they mail it to the people who are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all they're doing?
Yeah. I actually have a print from Keith behind me that I got a couple of days ago. It's really cool.
He just did it a few days ago. Yeah, no, I'll do it when I get a chance. It's like, here's another thing. I have 4 boys, and I'm always like, what do you need? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I ain't even tell you, but my wife is like, you need what? I need to go where? When? Again? So it's like just catching up with life sometimes for me, aside from being literally in this chair, sometimes 10, 12 hours, because as a voiceover actor, you would usually go into a booth, do your thing, and roll. Well, now it's like, do my thing, watch this camera. Okay, I got to fit the anime. Okay, there was the flow. Play my thing. Okay, I got to produce. I got to direct. Although I have a director in this ear and I have a producer in this ear, and then you see what I'm saying? And then I got to do all the paperwork, and then I have to do all of the editing myself. It's completely different now. Working from home is completely different. So when you guys get jobs, respect that booth tech, respect the director being there because they're doing jobs that you don't have to. Now it's like, oh my gosh, one project, you go in and you record. You're recording as you're watching this camera, but if the lines are long, you have to hold the lines up here. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Unless you got a tricked out booth, that has a screen for you to get. It has a monitor, and it's like it's different, So you got to be prepared for anything and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna check into it now that you got me all pumped up about it. Now I'm about to call Keith and be like, "Yo, look, dog. How do I do this?" Because he does them. It seems like every other week.
Yeah, there's like a website or I think there's a couple of them or something like that do it. There's also Cameo. That's another one that people have been doing recently.
I'm on Cameo. But Cameo is different. Cameo, like, here's my thing too. Erica, I know I've done a lot of work, but to me, I haven't done a lot of work. And I know that doesn't sound right, but
No,
I
it
guess
makes sense.
you know what I mean? And so a lot of people don't even know it's me on some of the stuff I've done. Like someone said, "You did Tiger and Bunny?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What? You did Tiger? That was you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so they find out later and they go, "Oh my gosh, I would sign this and do this." And I'm like, "Oh, or characters that are not black that I do. People freak out when they find out that I've done them. And so, I'm kind of like, well, the work. And another thing is, like, even on Cameo, Walter, Cameo is like, well, you can charge. And someone's like, you can ask for. And I'm like, it's a pandemic.
Mm.
I'm not going to ask somebody for a crazy amount of money to say hello to them or happy birthday to them when I just want to make sure that they're okay and happy. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people have money, but at first, when we first started doing Cameo, I charged the lowest price possible. It was at the top of the pandemic. And it was because I didn't want to try to be one of those people that were taking advantage. There's people on Cameo that charge $200 a pop.
Yeah.
I can't be that dude. You know what I mean? And Erica, so I know there's different ways to go about doing it. And I know there's a fan base that wants to do it. And I would love to cater to that, but I also know that people are hurting. And I guess that Chicago Southside boy in me will never allow me to put somebody in dire straits, So, and I know folks are like, well, people got to do it at their own discretion. Some people don't, but that's just me. Anybody else? Okay, let's get started. Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Who said that? Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first? All right, everybody mute. All right, D. What nursery rhyme do you have for me?
Oh, okay. Well, see, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really prepare for this in advance because things were a little bit hectic. But I could take a little start.
Oh, you ain't ready. If you don't have the stuff ready to go, you ain't ready. Okay. So
excited,
what genres did you prepare? What genres did you prepare?
Genres.
Because I asked for 2 different voices for the material that you were supposed to have had ready.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really prepare for a lot of this. I just was like, hey, I want to do some stuff and just be out there, right?
Okay.
But
So I'll choose them for you. Do you have a nursery rhyme in your mind, in your head?
other than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, that's the only one I can think of right now.
Okay, that's cool with me. Let's do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I want you to do it. You have a choice. So spokesperson or anchor-like presentational style, cartoon, fun voice, commercial, or anime. So I'm choosing because your ass didn't prepare. So you are going to do a commercial ad for one, which requires you to think about what you're doing for commercial. It's a commercial ad. I need you to think about what you would do to sell Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And the second one I'll choose, and then we'll go from there. All right?
All right. That's it. Have you ever wanted to go outside and had a nice fresh
Hey. No. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, man. That's your copy is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You're not doing anything off the cuff. Your copy is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's your copy. That is what you have in front of you. You have to read it as if you were trying to do a commercial like a TV ad.
All right, gotcha. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the little sky, you twinkle, twinkle, you little star.
You see what being unprepared does? So if I'm a director or a producer, I'm going to fire your ass in a heartbeat. 1, you didn't prepare. 2, you don't even know the words. You're like American Idol. Twinkle, twinkle, little far away. I'm messing with you. But this is why you have to be prepared. This is why you have to read, especially as a voiceover actor. You have to read what's in front of you. You have to read what's presented to you. I love the fact that you're excited about doing it, and that's great. And that makes me happy because we're going to work on this. But the amount of time we'll have now will cut into the time we would have had just to focus on you. So for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I'm gonna do just the first few lines because you don't know the first 4 lines, and that's okay. So I want you to sell this to me as if it's a commercial. What kind of commercial are you selling?
What kind of commercial am I selling? I'm selling like, I'd say more of like a mystical, kind of like nice and calm kind of commercial.
Okay, mystical, nice and calm. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the little sky, you can twinkle, twinkle, my little star.
Okay, so if it's mystical, like you said, that's completely different to me than what you said afterwards. Mystical is, I don't know, mysterious or outer worldly. So who are you selling this to?
I'd probably be selling it to people who just want to relax and wind down.
Okay,
on a
so
nice, calm night.
So this is like the Audible then. So now you're selling it to someone who wants to sleep better. Okay, so now you have a genre that you're trying to sell to a specific focus group. You see how much thought has to go into this, everybody? You can just nod. See that? If you know, you got the lines down. The lines are the words. But everything else that goes into this is important. Who's your audience? What is the product that you're selling? Who are you selling it to? How are you selling it to them? You are creating this from scratch. So if you don't know, those of you who, if you're like Daniel and haven't done it, you better do it quick before I call on your name so you can be ready to go. But Daniel, who are you selling this to? What's the age group, the demographic?
Or?
All of that is important because your voice is the voice for this product. Not only is your voice the voice for this product now, your voice is the voice for this company. Why should they hire you is what you have to keep in mind when selling their product. So go again.
All right, now with the age demographic in mind. Twinkle, twinkle, my little star, how I wonder what you are. Oh no, that sounds more fantasy. Never mind. I think I'm going haywire in my brain.
But that's good. That's good. That's what I wanted to hear. You go haywire in your brain until you can say, let me narrow it down. When you prepare and do the work, all of that stuff basically is the practice. We want to see game day, right? Y'all understand what I mean by that? Everything that you've done in preparation is exactly what Daniel's going through. I got this. Okay. Now you got me thinking. All of that. But so what's the finished product? What is game day? So I may come back to you if we don't run out of time. I may not. But those are the things that you have to know. And Daniel, who says you have to do it in Daniel's voice? If it's mysterious, if it's all that you say, why can't it be twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are? If it's supposed to be all those different things, or twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. You have so many different choices with that particular rhyme, but you, my friend, have to do the work. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go next? I'm giving y'all the choice. All right, come on, T.
Yeah. I'm doing Old MacDonald, and I prepared the commercial version and the character version.
Ooh, but you've been doing narration. Okay, let's see what you got, because I know what I want to hear.
Oh, go ahead. Does it matter which one I do first?
No, not at all.
Cool, I'll do commercial first. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a cow. E-I-E-I-O. Moo here, moo there, moo here, moo there, moo everywhere. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
So what's beautiful about that? We wanted, how many of you, show of hands, wanted to hear the whole thing to see where she was going to get to? You wanted to hear it. Like you want to hear, you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between, Old MacDonald had a farm. I could have been Old MacDonald, he had a farm. You kind of like, all right. But we wanted to hear where you're going to go with it. And so it's for a commercial. Now, I want you to slow down and do it.
Okay.
Because that was a great starting point.
Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a cow. E-I-E-I-O.
Stop. That was great. So what's awesome about it is that you are enjoying it. And the E-I-E-I-O, which anybody would say, oh, it's gibberish. You're embellishing it, which makes us go, ooh, a cow? Does it produce chocolate milk? You see what I'm saying? You're creating in our brains from what we're hearing a product that is sellable. You got me? Because you're relishing in the thoughts and you're relishing in the words. That is good work. Now,
I was actually imagining it as like a milk commercial kind of thing.
There we go. Because you got to give it somewhere to go. It can't just come out of, well, I'm just going to willy-nilly and freelance it and grab it out of the air. Some people can do that, like a Robin Williams, who was brilliant. Bless his heart. He was brilliant at just taking a subject and flying with it. Richard Pryor. You'll find, guys, that a lot of the stuff that people are telling you to take acting classes, if some of you took improv classes, it would make your careers soar because you're thinking on the spot. You're creating. A lot of people don't want just the words. They want the, hi, everybody. You know, I just wanted to reach out and let you know that they want they want to hear it. They want it to be natural. And that was the second time, how many people love the first time? How many people love the second time? How many people enjoyed the first time best? How many folks love the second time best? It's because you relished the words, they meant something, but you took your time. And the first time, I think you were just nervous. You know what I mean? But that time was like, ooh. And I had to stop you because it was just great. It's just, that's what I'm talking. But if you can take a nursery rhyme and do that, that's what anybody, and that's what we're doing right now. If you can do that to a nursery rhyme, y'all gonna kill Real Copy. You're gonna kill it. And you can't say, well, I haven't. Yes, you have, because we're doing it right now. All right? Mm-hmm. That was good. Let me hear your second one. Your genre.
Okay. So I told him, Old MacDonald had a farm, like E-I-E-I-O. Hey, on that farm, he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O. I mean, moo-moo here, moo-moo there, here, moo there, moo everywhere, moo-moo. Did I tell you Old MacDonald had a farm, like E-I-E-I-O?
Brilliant. So you prepared. How many times did you do that?
A lot.
In your preparation? How many different voices did you have for it?
I went through about 5.
Give me all of them right now. Just the beginning of Old MacDonald.
Girl, Old MacDonald, he had a farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. I was like this nerdy one I did.
Just do them. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Old MacDonald, he had a farm. Did you know that? He had a farm. On that farm, he had a cow. Yeah.
And then I don't remember all the ones I did.
That's okay. I love it. So be prepared. If someone says, well, I like that voice, or no, try this voice, or try that's an actor prepares. If anybody wants to understand that, there's a book by Uta, U-T-A, Hagen, H-A-G-E-N, An Actor Prepares. You got to be ready to do anything because it's not just about being a voice talent. It's about being an actor who's prepared, who can create, because that's what you are. Your easel is this right now. All right. That was excellent. Good job.
Thank you.
Very, very proud of you. That was awesome. That was awesome. Can I hear it? In your
Listen.
nope,
Listen.
nope, in your audiobook voice.
Oh, and my audiobook voice. Got it. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Go back and slow down.
Slow down.
Don't perform it. Read it.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
There it is.
E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O.
Read it for children.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O.
Read it for adults.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O.
Read it for business corp meeting.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're good.
yeah, I know.
You're good. So what classes are you taking?
I've taken some classes with the Atlanta Voiceover Studio. I finished one with Sally Neal in October. What else did I take? I took.
Do you have a reel?
Classes with them. Do I have a what?
A reel, a voiceover reel?
I do not. I do have a website.
You need to get a voiceover reel and submit it to agents. And you're in Atlanta, so I would say go to the People Store, go to different places there. The People Store is a voiceover, or they have two different groups. They have three. They have models. They represent models. They represent actors, and they represent voiceover. So an agency.
Oh.
You need to get a reel together. You need to make sure it's done right, and you need to submit that reel so that you can seek representation.
Okay.
You do. I think you're ready to do it. I think, once you get past the nerves and you know what your instrument can do, because you've got great control over it, I think you're ready to start. I think you should jump in it. Because you're not going to learn by just sitting around. I think you should jump in it. And I think anybody who's doing anything voiceover wise, whether it's free or not right now, you need to start doing it. You need to just jump in and do the work. I don't care if it's a job for $25 or $50 or $5. You need to start just doing the work.
Okay.
All right. That's just to encourage you. I'm just telling you, you got a great instinct. You got the mindset. You're quick here. You need to jump on it. You need to practice with the group, your peers right here. You need to get on it. You need to let them critique. You need to let them hear you. You need to jump on it.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you. All right. My box keeps changing. Who wants to go next? Because I know who I'm looking at.
I can go. No,
That's what I was looking at, boy. This thing worked. Come on, Kay. What you got?
All right, so I'm gonna do a Georgie Porgy, and I was going to do a news anchor and then probably a commercial.
Oh, cool. Let me hear this.
All right, so I'll start off with the news anchor. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Stop. Do it again. Slow down.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Stop. Listen to the words that you're saying and present them to me as if it's coverage that's behind you. Like a news anchor. Remember what you said you're going to do, news anchor.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls.
Who?
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Do it again, like with that same thought, Kate. Same thought process. Relish the words. Slow down. Make sure your breath is there.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Take the time to breathe. Go ahead.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie.
Stop. Okay, you can't be like Georgie Porgy. You have to take the breath. You're like breathing out. Take the breath. You got great support. I want to hear it. I want to hear it from you. You're really good, dude. Just do this. Then talk. Don't breathe it out. I want to hear that richness. You got richness in your voice, dude.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the
He
boys
did
came
what?
out to
He
play,
did what? He did what, Kate?
he kissed the girls and made them cry.
He did two things, right? So who are we talking about? Who is this damn culprit?
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Okay, so now I want you. Is it written down or are you just saying it?
Yes, I'm reading it.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. Who?
Georgie Porgy.
You have a pen or a pencil?
No, I was reading off a screen.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Notepad.
So who? Georgie Porgy.
Mhm.
By the way, his last name is Pudding and Pie. Did what?
Kiss the girls and made them cry.
Okay, so and's not the operative word. The only thing that you need to work on is phrasing. What's important in the script and what information that you're going to get out. If we're doing spokesperson news type, okay?
Mhm.
Georgie Porgy, Pudding and Pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, you see what I'm saying? There's different thoughts. So the reason I wanted you to mark it up is because they're different thoughts. And in nursery rhymes, you chose one of the hardest ones, by the way, just so you know,
Really?
which I think is brilliant because you're killing it. There's so many thoughts that you have to relay to get across, just like a news anchor, within a certain amount of time to make them make sense, because they're reading them off of a screen, a prompter.
Mhm.
Make them make sense to who you're speaking to. So, Georgie Porgy, Pudding and Pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. It's got to be, so now let's take it and play with it. Are we giving bad news, good news? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All right. I love it, man. You got a great, if you just the phrasing of it. I know you said you're new, but if you get the phrasing of it, if it makes sense to you, then it'll make sense to us. If you try to make it make sense to us first, not make sense to you first. You understand what that means?
I think so.
If I say hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock, as opposed to hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Hey, hickory, and sometimes you have to put these in your head. Hey, Kate, hickory dickory dock, bro, the mouse ran up the damn clock. The clock struck. You see what I'm saying? If I'm relating it to someone, it changes from me. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. I'm not internalizing it. I'm actually trying to convey the news to you. So It's all about serving you in spokesperson mode, which gives you a different thing if you're doing a character mode, and it is all about you, which is what Andrew Dice Clay does when he changes the words. But anyway, that's good. Good start. Way to be prepared. Let me hear the next one.
All right, so this one it's the same thing, but I was gonna do almost like a dessert commercial because I feel like pudding and pie makes sense.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
How would you talk to your woman on a date night? I know this sounds crazy, and guys, I know I'm going to be saying things you're going to be like, man, you're sexist. And that's not sexist, but sexy. These are the things, these are the operative words you have to think in your head. Go ahead. How would you talk to your woman? I just saw her, so how would you talk to your woman?
Hey, Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Okay, so if you wanted to go on a date night with your girl because you thought you might get some action, how would you talk to her? Would you go that fast? Would you actually talk that fast? Let me hear it. Stop blushing. Let me hear that.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away.
Okay, so did y'all hear the difference? Did you hear the rasp in it? Did you hear him drop the octave? Lady T did it too when she dropped the octave when she did a different character. Dropping the octave sometimes changes it. So is it, I'm talking really loud right now and I'm kind of up in my register, right? But if I'm talking to my wife, it's like, Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie. I got to see her, right? So I want you to say, I know she just left, but sometimes you got to see her. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie. You know, what is it? Because if you're selling pudding and pie, Georgie Porgy doesn't matter, but it has to grasp our attention, right? So Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. I'm selling a ice cream. I'm selling it. You know, I mean, guys, have you seen the Hershey's commercial where it's sexy? Or sometimes they do the Reese's like that, the Reese cup. So that's where you got to go. Good stuff, Kate.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you for being prepared. I love it, dude. That was so now you know it's just the phrasing and the breath support that you have to work on. Look at whatever the material is, find the breaks in it, pay attention to the commas, pay attention to the periods, take that breath support. You got a great tonal quality. Use it. It's right here for you. The resonance is right here for you. So when you figure out that diaphragm to push out the certain things, it's going to be incredible. Incredible. Good stuff, man. Who's going next? I know, Vienna. I'm looking at the clock. Nobody? Erica, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I want to hear what you got. What genres?
I picked spokesperson, news anchor, and I picked a cartoon fun voice.
Let me hear news anchor and cartoon voice.
Okay. And I picked the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Cool. I think you can kill spokesperson. That's why I'm asking that for that specific one.
The Itsy Bitsy Spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again.
Do it again and smile.
Okay. The Itsy Bitsy Spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again.
Drop your octave. Let me hear it. Do that the same thing with the smile, but drop your octave if you can.
The Itsy Bitsy Spider crawled up the water spout.
No, I'm good. That got it. There's a difference when you do that genre with a voice of authority like that. You understand what that means? So you can play in those three ranges, play in them. Even with what you just did, play in those three ranges. For your practice, your rehearsal, I'm all excited because I just heard you do exactly what I thought it should sound like. And it's very hard to make me happy for something to have exactly what it should sound like. You know, and that's my opinion. You know, it's my preference, but that's exactly what that genre would sound like. That's why I think you would kill spokesperson.
Thank you.
There's a Spectrum commercial out right now. There's a blonde lady who's talking about Spectrum, and she has different guests on, but she's like a host, but she's a spokesperson. She does that a lot, and people don't understand how good she is. They're just looking at the visual because it's all in blue and everything else. That's the kind of commercial stuff that you'd be able to do, whether it be on camera or off. Are you hearing me?
Oh, yes.
On camera? Have you ever done anything on camera?
You
need to think about it.
I was on the news once a long time ago.
But as what? A newscaster or a person just being interviewed?
No, I was a newscaster. They had this little thing where they had kids go on there for the day and they teach you and stuff.
All right. So you need to understand that you have an on camera that you can do and you have voiceovers that you can do. Be aware of that. Know your power in that.
All right.
But did you feel the difference from when you started and from where you wound up?
I did.
Okay. Did everybody hear that? When she dropped that octave? Because you can always play and go back up to the other octave and come back down. That's what I'm talking about in that voice that you have. You learn to control that thing at will and play with that, you're going to work forever. Go ahead. Let me hear the next one. Wait a minute. What genre again?
It was a cartoon fun voice.
Yeah, let me hear this.
The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again.
So that's for a cartoon character.
Or instead of being a cartoon, I think I just put an accent on it.
Okay, give me a cartoon character. This is going to sound crazy. You can keep the accent. Give me a cartoon character, because obviously the itsy bitsy spider is going through a journey. You're telling us something sad. Give me a cartoon character. This is going to be hard, what I'm about to ask you to do. Give me that again, faster.
The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout.
Wait. You going to keep the same sadness? It's a sad story.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, it's hard. What I'm asking you to do is hard.
The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again.
What happens if we go, the itsy bitsy spider? Now go.
The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout.
What happened to your accent? Give me your accent. Think about what you're telling me. You're telling me the itsy bitsy spider who you love so dearly just died. Give me your accent.
The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Perfect. There's a difference. Y'all are acting today. It's not just about voiceover. It's about acting. You just told me like a kid or a young lady, I got to tell you what just happened. And it affected me. And I'm just telling you that's what you just did. You sped it up, which is hard to do when you're talking about something sad. Your voice went boop, 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 instead of flat, because you can't do it if you're sad. You can't just be flat if you're sad, right? I mean, it's hard to do. And you just balanced out the whole storyline with the accent. So you're layering. That's what we call layering, everybody. That's hard to do. It's hard to take this and this and this and this, especially on the fly like that. It's hard to do it. And it's really hard to do it if you're not prepared. And these are the things that directors and producers, once you get into the booth, will ask you to do. And if you can't do it, they move on to the next person. Or if you can't do it, they go, I don't know if we can have them back because they only have a certain range. Good stuff. Good work.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself. That's some good stuff right there. Dang. All right, who's next? Vienna, did you say you were ready to go? Okay.
Okay. So, okay.
What genre?
So I basically had 5 Little Monkeys, and I wanted to do Anchor, but a lot of people are doing that. And
No, it doesn't matter what a lot of people do. I want to hear what you want to do. I don't care about it. You do what you do. Come on, girl.
I basically wanted to try to do news anchor and cartoon or anime, one of those two.
Let's do news anchor first.
Okay. Five little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Okay, so tell me the story. It's news anchor. Tell me the story.
Can you say that again?
Tell me the story. It's news anchor, so tell me the story and slow down.
Okay.
And watch your volume because you're just talking to me like we're just talking right here.
Okay. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
How many?
1 fell down. 5. 5.
And what are they doing?
Jumping on the bed.
Okay, now do it.
5 little monkeys
Slow down.
jumping on the bed.
How many?
5.
5 little monkeys.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Okay, so for what you're doing with the rhythm and the pattern that you have for 5 little monkeys, everything has to be a phrase. You know what that means? 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. I don't want to do it for you.
Okay.
Has to be a phrase. If you're doing news anchor, it has to be a phrase, and you have to relay it to us. What's happening, who's doing it, why, and what are the repercussions from it. Okay. News anchor.
Five little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Good. So now after each one of the phrases, you have to come up in inflection. 5 little monkeys.
Okay. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head.
Wait. That's great. You're doing you're doing exactly what I'm asking, which is awesome. But now, don't forget, you're a newscaster. You're a news anchor. Go ahead.
Okay.
Walter, if we go over, will it jack up our Zoom thing?
Oh, no, it'll be fine.
Oh, beautiful. Go ahead.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
You really take direction well. It's hard to do on the fly. All of you actually have taken direction very well, which is a director's dream. So now I want you to just talk to me. I don't want you to present it. I want you to be a news anchor. 5 little monkeys. These are the facts. This is all I have for you. Vienna, I just wanted to talk to you about the 5 little monkeys. Just talk to us as the audience.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
You got to slow down. There you go. Way to catch yourself, girl.
Okay. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Okay, now you got it. Now I want you to do it with a straight face. It's going to be hard. This is hard. But you can do it. Yep. Get all that out.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
Start over.
1
Let me
fell
hear
down.
5 better. You're like, 5 little monkeys.
5.
You got Lenny Kravitz on me. Just make sure you relay the information to us as the viewers, but just with a straight face.
Okay. Okay. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Perfect. Now do it. Get ready right away. Do it. Drop your octave.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Think about it first. Take a deep breath. Think about dropping your octave. It's going to change it should change your pattern, your rhythm. It should change the rhythm. You shouldn't sound the same as you did before. and then just give us the news.
Five little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
It's not easy to do. Good job. Bumped his head is exactly where I wanted you to go with the whole thing. Bumped his head. You went bumped his head. That's exactly it. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head. Bumped his head is where I wanted to figure out if you can get that whole round. Perfect drill for you. Get in front of the mirror because you're thinking about how you look. You're thinking about it too much. Don't think about the technical aspect so much. Just do it. Feel it and do it. What was the other one? I want to hear your I know I'm pushed for time, but I want to just hear what you got for you said anime?
Cartoon or anime, one of those two.
Let me hear the cartoon.
The 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Do something different. With the voice. Same genre.
So 5 little monkeys were jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed."
Can you do a voice like this? Can you put it back here in the back of your throat?
Right away.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head.
That's it.
Mama called the doctor.
That's it. That right there is what everybody's getting hired as to do a lot of anime and a lot of cartoons right now. So you just took that voice out of here that you were doing and you put it right here. Work on that. Take it out of here, put it here. You can have it here. You can have it here. You can have it here. Or you can have it here. It's 4 different places to place your voice. All right? Good stuff. And stop worrying about what you look like.
Yeah. I'll try my
Looking
best.
looking at the damn camera like, is he smiling? Do your work. Don't worry about it. You're in a booth. Nobody can see you. Got me? Good stuff. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Who's that?
Walter.
Walter! I'm mad at Yanni. Yanni was supposed to have spoken up. Yanni's all chilling over there like smooth Yanni. Smooth ass Yanni. That's what we're going to start calling him. Smooth ass Yanni. All chilling. I want to hear that voice. Come on, Walter. What you got, baby?
I got animation and I want to do a commercial.
I want to hear the animation first.
All right. Just 1 second.
Is he practicing?
No. So there's this thing that I learned how to activate like a voice that you
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
Do it again. Slow down.
All right. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
Okay, so what you're doing right now is going da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah, I'm getting caught up in the.
No. Listen, because I want that, but listen. Now I want you to go. I want you to build it, because right now you have nowhere to go after the first one.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So by
yeah,
the
yeah.
last stanza, I want it to be built. So build the slope. Don't just. Okay.
Gotcha. Mhm.
Let me hear it.
If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
So now it's a motivation speech. Now you're going Braveheart on me. So no, this is what I'm asking for. So now I want you to visualize the things that you're saying. Turnips, what was the turnips line?
If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side.
Okay, for what?
War.
Because
Oh.
somebody's running up on your butt, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
now tell me the story. Don't just say the words. Tell me the story. You were getting there, but now tell me the story.
Okay.
Who are you talking to? You talking to me?
Nah.
Who are you talking to? You talking to us? We are your soldiers. We need to hear our marching orders. Talk to us.
Enough. All right. If wishes were, oh wait, Paul. All right.
It's all right. And slow down. If who was what?
If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots.
Wait a minute. No, okay, that's good. That's good. But you're our leader.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let us be the, if witches were horses and let us be the beggars. We're a motley crew that you're getting together. You're rallying the troops so that we can go and fight Voldemort. We know that we're outnumbered. But you have to rally us up. So it can't be so breathy because we don't think you're confident at all. So I'm gonna haul my ass the other way. You see what I'm saying? Now got me?
Right.
Now do it. Now do it. Now do it. Inspire us.
If wishes were oh wait, all right.
No, that was wrong. Don't stop yourself. That was, come on. You got this.
All right. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
You see how your voice cracked?
Yeah.
You know why?
I switched up.
No, do you know why?
Nah.
Because your heart's in it. Because your heart's in it. That's usually a sign of someone speaking from a different place than just a performance. So y'all know, cracking voices is not always bad. D, I think that's important for what you would do, because I think that you have this voice that is so unique and different, and you talk fast. And if you was talking fast and you went here, it meant to, see what I'm saying? I think that crack means something. So Walt, you just took, did anybody hear the difference from when he started and where he wound up? He wound up being the leader, giving commands and saying, this is what I would do, follow me. So that's what that is. And we heard, I did, this time, witches were horses. Okay, so now when you do it this time, okay, if witches, who maybe that's who we're about to go fight. Make these words mean something because of what situation we're in now. And I know I'm asking you all this on the fly, but I know you can do it because of what you just did. So give it to me now and impassion us to go and do this.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's not witches, but it's wishes. So I might
Wishes.
have been, I might have been flubbering that word up a bit.
Okay, then make it clear.
Oh.
And if it's wishes, it's even more passionate. That goes with what I'm saying. If wishes were I wish I had a horse so that we could ride and fight all these things from which our friends died. You know, I'm over exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Go ahead. Do your thing.
All right. You want me to just go for that?
I want you to go
just,
for what's in your head right now.
All right. All right. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
Okay, so now, just like we did phrasing with Vienna,
Yeah.
just now, each thought has to come from somewhere. If wishes were horses. And what was it?
Oh, and if wishes were horses, then beggars would ride.
Okay. If wishes were horses and beggars would ride, then what? That has to come from, I have to get, don't work on it now, but those are the things that you should work on. Once again, kind of like with Cade, the thought has to connect to the next line. So you have to stop, get the breath support. You have to take the minute to get there. You have to take the pauses. If it's a stanza, you have to take the pauses into the next line. It works that way. It just helps. What was your other one? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me add. Yanni, you don't have to go, do you?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Oh, commercials.
Just do commercials. I'm really it's same material?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, let's see. Let's see, Walt.
Oh. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
So so now we're in a whole different genre. So ifs and ands, pots and pans, you're gonna have to find somewhere in there where you can. I'm not gonna tell you where they are.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to find somewhere in there where they pause, because that sounds to me like a really cool motorcycle commercial.
Yeah,
like a
that's
Harley commercial.
somewhere around where I was going for. Like,
Did anybody else visualize something different? Ain't nobody talking. Y'all can
Everyone's muted.
I was
Very
thinking
good
more
at
of like a progressive commercial. That's what I was thinking.
Yep, I got that too at first. The insurance. Anybody else?
I actually imagine some kind of car or automobile.
All right.
As well.
So if we're driving down the road with you on a nice autumn day, you better slow that down and let us enjoy the ride.
Gotcha.
Let's hear it.
If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride.
Okay, I want you to stop. If what was what? I'm your passenger. We're all in the car with you.
All right. Let me get slightly closer.
That's good.
All right. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers' hands.
If ifs and ands. Oh, try that.
All right.
If ifs and ands.
If ifs and ands were pots and pans.
Yeah. See, it's making you select. If ifs and ands were pots and pans.
If ifs and ands were pots and pans.
Now, if ifs and ands were pots and pans.
If ifs and ands were pots and pans.
See the difference? I'm going to speed up one of the two. Got me?
Gotcha.
I'm trying to create a painting so that if all of us close our eyes and listen to you, we are taking, like me and T say on that car ride, we are taking to the office, like Erica says, to buy some Progressive insurance. What are you selling? Always keep that in mind. Good stuff, man. You know, it's beautiful to hear that. I have to say this, Walt. I'm sure many of you who've heard Walter talk, you've heard Walter talk how he talks. And I'm sure that the only time you get to see Walter when he does his thing is when he performs, that he sounds different from how he talks. Am I right? Can I assume that? And everybody in the group who knows Walter? So to hear him do that, did he sound like Walter?
No.
If you would have sounded like Walter, you would have never got the job. because Walter is here. Walter is, this is me, this is who I am, love me, see me. You know what I mean? That's Walter. But when you Bring Us In. Ah, that's the dude. That's Baloo right there. You know, from Jungle Book. That's the dude. Ah, bring it in, man cub. Ah, that right there, Walter, might be your brand.
Mm.
Bring us in. When you bring us in, it changes. When you smile, it invites us. You got me?
Gotcha.
Know that your smile when you speak will change the way you work. Good stuff. All right. Smooth ass Yanni.
All right, and this is coming.
Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can you hear that?
It's bassy too.
What genres? I'm curious.
So my poem was Sing a Song of Sixpence, and my genres were. Hold on, let me pull it up. It was a news anchor and a cartoon with a ridiculous voice.
Oh, okay, we're gonna play. Let me hear your news anchor.
All right. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye.
Slow down. Do me a favor. Turn your hat backwards. That's another thing, guys. When you go into a booth, if your bill is here, it'll change the quality.
Take it off if you want.
Oh no, you can. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
All right.
Your bill could change. It'll bounce it. Also, if you have an iPad and you're doing this, it'll bounce it. It won't sound as genuine. Take your time though, Yanni. Take your time.
And sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
And this is newscaster?
Newscaster.
Do newscasters again and slow down. You did great with the phrasing. Now slow down even more.
Sing a song of sixpence.
No, don't chop it. Don't make it staccato. Just slow down your stanzas. Not the words, the stanzas or phrases.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye.
Take your hand off that mic.
Oh, sorry.
It's like you got a great voice. I want to hear this.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Do you know how much control you have over your resonance and your bass? Are you aware of that?
I was actually not aware of that.
Have you done any radio DJ type stuff?
Only podcast ads. And I think like 2 introductions.
Yeah. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it however you want to do it now.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Yeah. So newscaster is easy for you. Spokesperson, probably same thing. You just have to bring warmth into it. There's a video game. You just totally reminded me of a video game. You would be an unbelievable golf announcer, by the way. What is that game? Oh, there's a video game right now, and they have an announcer who's doing a lot of tongue in cheek. Have you ever seen Wipeout? The show that used to come on where they try to run over the balls and there's an obstacle course.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
You would kill it as a spokesperson or an announcer for that, because I can hear there's a dry humor in you. I can hear that there's this wryness that can come out of it. That you got to know that is, you own that genre. Now we're about to play. I want to hear the other voice.
All right. I'm going to have to crunch up my throat a little bit because this is a very cartoony voice that I like to use
before
sometimes.
You crunch up your throat, are you doing it so that you could, what if someone asked you to do this voice for 2 hours straight?
it would probably be a little annoying, but it's not. I say crunching of the voice. It's more like just trying to get into that kind of character's voice.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that whatever we do, we are able to sustain that voice for the amount of time, you know what I mean, that they may need you to be in a session. Because folks will use you, they will abuse you. I mean, try doing Call of Duty. Whew. You know, I want to hear what you got.
All right, hold on. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Okay. Stay right there. That laugh you just did, do it one more time.
I need to. Do you mind if I say the last sentence to?
Yeah, go ahead.
To set before the king.
Now, that do a voice in that.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Do it with a southern accent with the same tone.
Sing a song.
Just like a regular voice now?
No, southern accent.
Southern accent with a hyper voice.
Yep.
Sing
Okay.
a song.
You can play. You're gonna go up and down.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye.
Yep.
24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
Now do it from the beginning with that.
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye.
You got it. Know that you have that range. Have you ever done that before?
Not for an official.
Just playing around with your voice.
I have done it for an audition once, and even though I didn't get it, they were like, we really like that kind of goofy British-ish kind of voice.
Be able to do all that stuff with the British accent, without the British accent, within your wheelhouse, whatever it may be, Southern, straightforward, whatever it may be able to do that. I wanted to hear your range because I know down here is where you like to be. And I know that clarity and everything for the spokesperson or the newscaster is what you do. That's easy for you. What can you do, which was what you just showed us, with the other voice? That's what I wanted to hear. Because you can always go dipping in and dipping out, and that's what I wanted you to feel, that crack. Oh, I don't hurt. It didn't hurt. It didn't. I can still flow in that. You need, my friend, to find out how to get a reel as well. And within your reel, you need to also find out on campus, if you guys are on campus, or even if it's a small community radio station, if you can audition for DJ stuff. Now, you may not know how to do it. You know, it may be something simple, but I could totally hear you on the radio. Or just practice that voice. You also need to, like, top 40 stuff. There's another thing that you can do right there as well. You know what I mean? And that's always with a smile on your face. Like
kind of like a welcome back to the Todd Howard Show.
Yes, like those. You can do podcasts, but you need to get paid for what you do, because a lot of people don't have that kind of voice. They think they do,
but they sound very nasally.
And they actually, you know,
despicable.
You know, I was going to ask you at one point to hold your nose and do it, but you can get there without that.
Yeah, that's when I was taking private lessons. That's one of the first things they told me specifically is that my voice tends to really resonate whenever I'm not speaking through my nose, because this is me speaking through my nose and this is me speaking through my throat.
So you know your placement. So you know nose and you know throat. How about chest and diaphragm?
If I'm using chest or diaphragm at that point, I'm summoning the devil.
Hey, You think they're all,
Because it sounds a lot like this.
but it's
Coming
too
from the
polished to
lungs.
sound demonic. So I did this character I forgot the name of it, for Naruto. So when you have to do characters like that, and there are a lot of them, a lot of bad guys sound like that. And I'm putting this in it. But a lot of bad guys come from here too. Or trying to think, a lot of bad guys come from here. You see what I'm saying? So what happens when you take that resonance that you have and you have to play a creature that will kill you from anywhere? What happens when you have to play with all of that and then get all nasally and snotty? Going in and out of here and then bringing it from here. What happens? See what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of roles like that.
Just because Skeletor was up here.
They had to do that because it's a children's show. I never visioned Skeletor from He-Man sounding like that.
That doesn't scare me. It's a laughing skull.
Whatever. Let Skeletor sound like what he looks like, and no kids will watch that doggone show because they'll have nightmares, right? So how can you take the visual and make it your own? You got range, unbelievable range to do so. So play with that. But look for wheelhouses or jobs or auditions or whatever you can to pull you out of your comfort zone. And those that you know you should be getting paid for, opportunities. Look for those because you would kill it.
Thank you.
All right? Oh, of course. Got one more. I know we're running over. Y'all good? Everybody okay? Cole?
I will do my best. I am
That's
going
all I
to do
ask.
a character for Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Come on, Mary.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And
Hold your nose
everywhere-
and do it. Hold your nose and do it.
Mary had a lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow.
Take
And everywhere
take your finger off your nose and do it again. With knowing how that feels, now do it like that without your finger on your nose.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow.
Take your
And
fingers like
everywhere
this.
that Mary went.
Take your fingers like this. Put them right here. Now do it.
Mary had a little lamb, little
Push,
lamb.
push. You gotta
Mary
push.
had a little
You
lamb.
gotta push a little bit. Put a little pressure on it.
Mary had a little lamb, little
Wait,
lamb.
then take
Mary
your whole
had a-
hand. Take your hands and like compress it. Don't choke yourself out, but just like that.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Where are you from?
I'm from here. I'm from Georgia.
You were born and raised in Georgia?
Yeah, North Georgia.
Your mom and dad?
Yeah, I don't sound like it, but I sure am.
At all. I'm like,
My whole
dang.
family
Okay.
has an accent, not me.
That's crazy. Okay. All right. Now, do Mary Had a Little Lamb? And this is another thing that I haven't said to anybody. When you sing things, it changes the game. Changes the game. Because then it gives you a different mindset of where to go. Let me hear you sing it, but slow down.
In the same voice?
You can choose whatever voice you want, but not that one.
Mary had a little lamb.
That's the same
little lamb. Yeah. Mary had.
That's good. That's good.
Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And
That same
everywhere
voice, that same voice. Cole, that same voice. Now read it. No, read it. Read it. Don't sing it. Don't sing it. Read it.
Mary had a little
little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb.
Is that my computer?
Yeah, freeze. You're stuttering.
Yeah, I think it's a
Not just you.
connection.
Is it Cole's?
I think it's Cole's because it's doing it for me too.
Yeah, same
Hey,
here.
she was channeling a Powerpuff Girl.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's bouncing. Cole, there's a lag.
Uh-oh. I think she completely froze.
Vienna, you know how to fix her?
Nah, it might be your connection.
I am so sorry, but that is out of my power. That's for her connection and her computer.
Can she sign out? If you can hear me, Cole, sign out and sign back in.
Maybe try like different Wi-Fi or like cellular Wi-Fi. That can't work sometimes. Nope.
Okay. I'm glad you popped up, Daniel. So you've had a long time to see what we're doing.
Yep, and now I'm actually prepared this time.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Cool. Narration first or the character? Oh, the commercial, sorry. Whoop. All right. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above, the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
The way you ended is how I want you to start. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's how I want you to start for every phrase. Because of Daniel talking, Daniel talks like this. Everything that Daniel says starts off like this, and then it goes back to, you see what I'm saying? So I want to hear that all the way through. So go ahead. Cole, I'm coming back. Don't worry.
So twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
The phrasing can't always be the same, or else we'll not follow you. You're going, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder. You're going, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. If it does that, then we'll go, the pattern, you see what I'm saying? What's pleasing to Daniel's ear? Drop an octave.
Like a nice soft.
Drop an octave and do it. Put me to sleep.
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Like up above the world so high.
Did you just turn up
like
your
a
volume?
diamond in the sky.
Did you just turn up your volume?
No, I think I might just be speaking louder. I think it's every time I go in a higher voice, I sound really lighter and softer.
No, I want you to go in a lower
deeper.
voice. I want you to go in a lower voice and put us to sleep.
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle.
Don't perform it,
little
Daniel.
star.
Don't perform it. Read it to us as if you're reading a nighttime story to us as children.
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Why
Up
is
above
Twinkle
the
Twinkle more
world so
important than
high.
the star?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star,
Not
how I
little.
wonder
Not
what you
little. So what you have to do now is you have to find operative words in the sentences. What makes sense? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle. Oh, twinkle, 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 little star. You see what I'm saying? It's the star.
Right.
We're the stars.
Stars
Talk
are-
to us. Put us to sleep.
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Not twinkle.
How I wa-
You can't go up in inflection and twinkle. Twinkle, twinkle.
Oh, okay. So like low. All right. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are.
You know,
Up
don't
above
go
the-
back. Don't get stuck in the pattern. The only thing that matters is star. You can't go twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. It has to go. Twinkle. Just talk to us.
Just back. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world, so high.
Slow down. Don't
like
let
a diamond.
No, not like a diamond.
Like
Don't let Daniel get in there. Daniel talks like this, and everything he does, he talks like this. Don't put Daniel in it.
Like a diamond in the sky.
No, like a diamond.
Twinkle, no, like a diamond in the
It
sky.
doesn't. You don't have to inflect diamond like a diamond. It doesn't have to be in volume. It has to be in here. It has to be what we. Okay. Like a diamond.
Should I start over or?
Yes.
Like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Or how I wonder what you are.
How about you? Why not make you? Aren't you talking to us? Why not make it personal for us?
That's true. Right, how I wonder what you are. Right.
You're funny. You give it volume and inflection. It's hard to do that actually, but you're going twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And it's when I say give it emphasis, it needs to be more embellishing. You know what I mean?
Embellishing.
Like twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder.
Like it needs to have more heart and meaning.
Yes, it's got to mean something.
Right.
We'll work on it next time we do something like this. Next time, come prepared, and then it'll be much easier to do it. So let's go back to Cole real quick before we close out. Cole.
All right, let's do this.
No, we got it. That was good. You just went up an inflection and did the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now you changed your rhythm in doing it. It changed the whole, I guess you would say, the beat in doing it. And it didn't sound like anything that you were talking to us earlier on. And when you prepared the first one, it didn't sound like anything like what we thought Cole was, right? So for me, I'm like, all right, now Cole, you need to do a report on Final Fantasy VII. And you need to ask me and Erica about our characters. How would you present it? And Erica, you about to be Tifa, okay? So how would you present it to us, Cole? That you wanted to.
How would I?
Because you're doing the interview, right?
Right.
All right. So how would you come to us and ask us to, hey, can I interview you, or whatever it may be?
I would.
No, don't tell me what you would do. Just do it.
Hi, I'm a reporter with The Signal from Georgia State University, and I heard that you did some of the voices for Final
What's your
Fantasy
name?
VII. My name is Cole Podani, and I'm a reporter for The Signal. And sorry.
No, Cole, right there. What you just did right there, that's what'll win us over. That smile. Now do it.
I'm Cole Podani, and I'm a reporter for The Signal. I heard that you did some voices for Final Fantasy VII, so I was interested in possibly attending your event.
Erica, what you think? Should we do it?
I think we should.
Great.
So Cole, everything is that right there is Cole. Great. Great. Cole talks with her body. Got it? The very first time you did Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, when you were getting into it, I saw this. Cole talks with her body. Cole's smile disarms us. Cole's smile makes it safe. So now your smile and your body, once again, going back to what I said, voice, body, face is what you're presenting. And that's your strength. So when you start asking people for interviews, when you just know that about you. Hey, how you doing? My name is Cole. I'm a reporter, and I'm really over exaggerating, but that brings us into Cole. Once again, kind of going back to what's with Walter, that physicality brings us in sometimes. Walter at one point went, hold on for a minute, let me get closer to the mic. You think that's not part of what we do? Hold on, let me get more intimate with what I have to say. Let me speak to you from here. You got me? Those are the little things that allow us to convey the message, do the job, make it real, present the product, sell the newscast, make you think I'm talking to you, news persons. Because a lot of spokespersons, they speak like this and they just want to hear themselves. But if I speak like this and I really want you to hear what's happening in the world right now, there's a difference in me playing with inflection and volume and staccato, legato, the different things. See what I'm saying? What makes my audition different from everybody else's to make you forget about everybody else and go, yeah, but you know that dude with the skull cap? You know what I mean? What makes you unique? What makes you different? What makes you quirkier? You know, just like Yanni was saying, they really like that. They said that but you know what? You may not have gotten a job, Yanni, but the beauty is you want a fan. And that's what you want, especially with a casting director. Because they go, oh, I remember him, or I remember her. So now I got Vienna doing her thing, but she's nervous about being on camera, and that's okay because I may say, hey, I remember her because I need her to play this little shy character, and I think she can do it because I know she can hit that pitch now. Right, Vienna? Y'all can turn your mics back on. We're good. I'm like looking at all the red things. Unless your dog is barking or you're typing or something. You see what I'm saying? Look, I know, Kate, now you have a bass. Yeah, I haven't done this before. Okay, great. But now you know I got a richness in my voice. Okay, let me explore that. Let me go into a bathroom. Let me go into somewhere where there's an echo. Let me go into something where my voice will carry and see what that sounds like. You know, Daniel, I know I talk fast in the beginning. That might work if I'm doing a role like this and I got to speak like this. And what if I've got an audition where I've got to be an auctioneer? All those different things, they work. Take what your strong suit is. Take who you are and incorporate that into whatever the audition is. Even if the audition is totally not you. Don't ever say, well, that's not me. I can't. Try it. The more chances you get to audition, the more chances you get to lay down tracks, do them. Do them. Because that's more practice for you. That's more practice for you to get to know your instrument and your tools, which is your mic and everything else. Was this encouraging for any of you, or are you good?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know it's tough sometimes when we're going individually, like, oh God, oh, did mine. Now I gotta sit. I'm hungry. I gotta use the bathroom. You know. But thank you for your patience in it, and just know that you guys have, even Cade, who's like, I'm just watching. You got a tool. Use that tool. And honestly, you're going to start writing with tones in your head if you don't already. I guarantee you it'll change the feel of your articles, of how you write. Because now you'll have it with, well, this is a pleasant thing, or this is a sad thing, or this is a neutral thing. You'll have it. And then that'll make it more brilliant. All of you know your strengths. You know your strengths. Don't always play to them when you have the opportunity to go outside of them. Okay? And then, Walter, hold me accountable to send you the equipment that everybody, if you have the finances to get it. Many of you already have. You're already doing what you do. But I'll send you that thing that they sent me straight up from all the Burbank studios and everybody who we record. I'll send that to you. And if there's anything else that I need to send, or if anybody needs any other resources, let me know and let Walter know, and I'll try to send everything that I have. Because it's like there's jobs out there for everybody. And so we just got to figure out how to go about doing it. Cool?
Cool.
Fun time. I'm sorry I went over.
No, it's fine.
But you guys are doing some good stuff, and I wanted to honor the fact that you had prepared and you had done your stuff and you had good material.
Most of us, at least.
Well, no, D, even with it, though, it serves as an example of what you can't do on the day of, on the day when someone says, hey, Daniel, we want you to audition for this thing. And you go, oh, I'll be prepared. Well, now you know, I need to prepare more. Because but think about it, D. I learned the hard way, too. Oh, there's more I could do. Oh, there's more things to think about. Oh, there's more things going on in my head. How do I clear that out? It's good. It's still a learn. Man, we can do it here. It's like a workshop. We're here so that we don't do it on the day or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not
All
mad
right, I
at
got
you.
you.
It's all good.
Yeah, I know. It's just like a little bit embarrassing and a bit because it's just like, oh my god, everyone prepared, but I did it. Ah! But it's all good.
And sometimes that's the best way to learn, honestly.
Of course, yeah.
And not just for you, for everybody else. You know? All right, cool. Walt, we get what we needed?
Yeah, we did.
Everybody cool?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
Thank you
coming
so
by.
much.
You got it.
Thank you for teaching us cool
Thank you.
things.
No
Really cool.
problem. Much love. We'll figure out again when we can do it, Walt. It was fun. Good
And
group.
thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Absolutely. Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
I hope to work with y'all one day. That would be
This
so
was amazing.
That'd be
Thanks.
cool.
That'd be really cool,
That'd be
yeah.
really fun.
So fun. But yeah, check out the People Store. All of you guys are there. I was with them at one point. I know that there's a couple other agencies there that are pretty strong. There's a lot of work being done in Atlanta. A lot of work on camera right now. Erica, that's for you specifically. Yanni, I actually think you would kill it on camera with your voice as well. I actually
Thank
think
you.
all of y'all would. Cade, I think you would be an unbelievable character actor.
I would hope so.
And T, I could see you straight up on Black Lightning. Daniel, I think you can do tons of stuff. You are that quintessential, I know everything that I'm talking about. You better not mess with me. I mean, I have a friend who I did a cartoon with. His name is Tamir. Unbelievable. And he's in commercials, television, movies. And you remind me so much of him. And we did a cartoon called Turbo, F-A-S-T, fast. And if you can look up his name, look at the work he's done. That is who you can character yourself after. And his career is brilliant.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah. I think you guys would kill it. Vienna, don't forget, look up Stephanie Shea. Because I think you can.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I looked her up, and I'm a huge fan of her. Actually, I just didn't realize she was actually that person that voice
Right.
acted that.
Isn't that funny? We don't put the person to the voice because we just like, and then all of a sudden we go, you did that? And it's like, yeah. Walt, I think you got a lot. I think you got a lot more than you even think you do.
Mhm.
And honestly, I would love to know when you land back in Georgia, because with this group right here, y'all can create something of a co-op that can be phenomenal. Phenomenal. I don't know who is missing or whatever, but I think just this group right here, you guys get together, brainstorm, study, practice, get in the booth. I think you guys can create a dang collab. I really do. I really do. All right.
Yeah.
Much love. Thank
All
y'all
right,
so
man.
much for
Thank
the
you
time.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
So
coming.
much.
Yeah.
Got it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
You
Yeah.
too.
Bye, Tennille.
I should probably head to work. I'm a little bit late, like 30 minutes late.